So you're telling me that there's this massive tortoise called a spirit tortoise, and it's one of the legendary myth whatever creatures? Yes, Naofumi, and we need your help. The other three heroes have already tried, and I'm guessing they failed. Actually, we don't know. I'm guessing they have. We haven't heard from them in many weeks since they have left. So we have the notation to believe that they have failed of taking out. We know they are not um, down because we have magical powers. We can sense the hero's weapons. We know they are not dead, so we know they are alive at least for now. We have, I believe it was, we have 4 weeks, a month to ready up our defensives. See, we are working with other countries, other kingdoms to take it down. I am asking for your help in this, and you will get whatever you would like, any reward you would like. You know what? I'll do it. But I'll think on the that latter part. Just tell me when, and I'll get me and my party ready. Hello, it is me, Anime We Anime, and I'm here to bring you part 6 of What If Naofumi was the legendary Knuckle hero. Now, today we're going over the Spirit Tortoise arc. Quite excited because it's a good battle. I like it a lot. I don't like a character at all. I hate her. I hate her guts. I hate Ost. I hate her. I despise her character. She's she gets rid of my favorite power up in anime. Well, one of my favorite power ups in anime being the Wrath, uh, like shield. It's one of my favorites. Okay, and she gets rid of it. I wanted to see Naofumi use it more. There was an ability that we didn't even see. There were so many abilities that we didn't see of it, of the Wrath shield. Okay, there were so many. Okay, I wanted to see more. I don't like her. She, even though she will be a part of this, she's not getting rid of the power. She's not. Then I would have no use for this art that I created. Okay? She's not getting rid of my favorite power up in isekai anime and in any isekai. Okay? Now, given I've watched only a couple isekais, even though Rising the Shield Hero is my favorite anime, it doesn't have my favorite like power up. It's definitely up there. Wrath Shield is definitely number two. Okay, it's definitely number two, or probably number one. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, and let's. Well, before that, background noise is inevitable. Inevitable. Um. Uh. I will say this: we will get straight into the fight. Uh. Well, here in a couple seconds. Okay, we will get straight into the fight. Just a little bit of talking beforehand. Okay, and yeah. Okay, so here's the plan. Here's what's happening. I'm guessing one of you at least know of the spirit tortoise. Yes, Master Naofumi, I do. At least one of you. I had no clue it existed. It's one of the four mystical beasts. Yeah, well, along with the phoenix and whatever the other thing is. Yes. It's I don't know what else. Honestly, I know of it. I don't know much else though. Within a month's time, we had to get stronger with whatever is available to us around this dumbass kingdom. So that means, well, you three will have to train. I'll train somewhere. Um, apparently there are people coming to help the heroes train. Uh, and apparently I was lied to by someone. Well, by the queen about the heroes. Uh, have not left. They have not even tried to, but they're going to go try to take it out. I guarantee it. Without a plan and one or without working with each other. They haven't left yet. Um, but yeah, we gotta wait here at least a day to get those two people to train people. I don't know. It's boring. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna time skip to the next day when we see Eclair. Uh, right, that's her name. Yeah, hold on. Eclair C. Ito. Um, sword wielder, a sword woman, swordswoman who governs the area around Raftalia's old village, at Raftalia's and Keel's old village. And then we have Ilrasa Ragnarok, the last practitioner of Hingen Muso art. Okay, so those two would arrive. The heroes would be there with their parties, and well, Eclair would kick Ren's ass in a duel. Um, Itsuki and Motoyasu, and I believe Ren. Right? Yeah, Ren, Itsuki, and Motoyasu would try to skip out on the training, saying, "We are better than them." So they would go train in their own way, defeating monsters and whatever else. Clearly having a too big of an ego for their own good, especially after what's to come to them and their parties. Well, their parties in general. Okay. But for Naofumi's party and their new addition, Rishia, he does not understand why she's here, but she is. Uh, Rishia, Naofumi's party, would begin to train under these two, uh, well, teachers, senseis, Eclair Seattle. I don't know how to say her last name, but Eclair, and I'm going to call her Miss Ragnarok. No, I'm joking. Uh, Isala. Yeah, her. They would after Naofumi would learn that he can't use the Hingen Muso arts properly, he would learn. Well, he wouldn't bother with it. Okay, so he would mostly train with Eclair, even though she is a swordswoman. She is decently well versed in hand-to-hand combat. Not as good as well, Isala, the last practitioner of Hingen Muso, but she is good enough, right? So they would be able to help Naofumi out with just two. His ways of fighting is most definitely more brutal and more not reckless to say, but reckless in a way to where he has to he gets up front and he will bash someone in the skull with no problem. Okay, yeah, that's kind of his deal, right? But you can't really do that with a tortoise, a giant one at that. Bro's the size of like mountain ranges. Even though Naofumi's pretty confident he could punch a mountain range, he's not entirely sure that he could probably uh, take this thing out. Even though after knowing its size and well, its size is mostly what he has learned. He's got a plan, but it does take quite a few people to pull off in a way that it will actively work and for sure take this thing out once and for all. Right? So here's his. Right? Okay, never mind. I figured I said that. But as I was saying, for the next month, 4 weeks, Naofumi and his party would train while the queen and her army would plan for the attack on the spirit tortoise with the other three countries, right? And it would be a day before the spirit tortoise would arrive to the right destination for the allied armies. Okay. See, the generals and the leaders of each kingdom and their generals, I guess, I think. I don't remember, but there would be two people for each, would be there, would arrive, and they would start planning or talking out things. They would start to talking about multiple things, about blah, 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 this is how we got to do it. It would be a huge argument that Naofumi didn't want to hear. So what he would do, he would slam his fist against the table and say, "Shut up. I'm tired of you all arguing. Okay? I don't care about how strong your army is, about how strong army you have, and I don't care about anything like that, okay? I want to get this over with so that I can move on with my life in this world, okay?" First, I thought I was just being summoned to take out waves, but now there's freaking kaiju-sized tortoises walking around. My life has been a full 180 at this point, probably even more. Okay, I could care less. I'm gonna fight that thing. The other idiots, the other heroes, apparently that you all apparently believe in, yeah, they're gonna die. I can tell you that right now. That spirit tortoise is gonna mop the floor with them. See, them having a bigger ego than the sun. They're idiots. Okay, I'm gonna say that blatantly. I don't care if you hate me or you love me. I don't care. I'm here to do my job, and that's that. And by the way, who the hell is that lady? As they would turn and see a cloaked figure that would say, "You all will lose." No, no. You all are gonna lose. You know what? Screw it. It's Oast. We all know that. She would start to explain about the spirit tortoise, blah, 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 blah. She would do her rambling stuff. I could care less. Okay? If you like Oast, you can have your own opinion. Do what you want, okay? I don't care. Like who you like, dislike who you dislike, okay? So, as Naofumi would start to help out with actually making the plan instead of being silent and just going along, they would come up with a plan to knock it down to size of a closer range. And they're guessing they gotta cut off this thing's head to take it out. Even though, in my own experiences, cutting off a turtle's head does not unalive it, it will still actively bite you. I learned that the hard way. Uh, See, snapping turtles aren't fun to deal with, to say the least. Okay, I'm not going to go any further than that. Now, Fumi would know this, but he would say, "This thing's a tortoise, right?" Meaning it's like a reptile, which I don't think any of you know what that is at this point because monsters and whatnot. Um, if we cut off that thing's head, it will still actively be able to bite. If that's what I mean, given it's also a magical beast, so maybe I'm wrong here. I feel like we gotta take out its heart. That's like my guessings. Take out the heart or take out the magical core it probably has. I don't know. And how the hell are we gonna trust that lady that calls herself the spirit tortoise? I'm quite confused about that, to be blatantly honest. But whatever. I laid out my stuff. You all do whatever you want. Now, I'm gonna go find something to eat. And he would leave the tent. He would go find something to eat, like he said, as the other uh, people would go off of what Naofumi said, and, well, yeah. The next day would come quite quickly, and they would have an early morning to set up, make sure everyone's there, and, yeah, making sure everyone's there in places and that they're ready to go. And luckily for them, fortunately, they all are. Now, for me and Eclair's army, who will be the general of that portion, is ready to go. Okay? As they would all go, they would start the slow, well, would start off slow on their way towards where the spirit tortoise, well, is going through the mountain range. Currently, where everyone else is. Okay. They would begin their slow startup, and eventually things would start going correctly to plan, whatever. the spirit tortoise would be going through this area, and then the people around would start firing ballistas, and anything akin to that, like cannons and ballistas to take out the legs. Okay, as the another force with their magical power would create a massive explosion, taking out its legs more. Then it would be time. It would be on the ground. Uh, but they didn't expect for there to be monsters there, like monsters from its own flesh or something. I don't remember. It's something like that. But anyways, it would finally come up. The like minotaurs, whatever they were, I don't remember. They would start charging at Naofumi and Naofumi's army. And he would say, "Hold on, Philo. Wait, Naofumi, Knuckle Hero, whatever you called. Let us take care of this. Let this would be Eclair. Eclair would be saying, let us take care of these and you deal with the massive beast." And Naofumi would say, that's nice and all, but yeah, no. I'm gonna leave you with at least someone. Two people. Actually. Yeah. Keel, Rishia, I want you to stay back here. Watch. Okay? I want you to the flank. Go around these as we go forward and take it on. We need you to find some way in. Philo, ditch the wagon. Let's kick it. All right, master. And then him and Raftalia would hop on Philo's back. Keel and Rishia would do a flanking maneuver. Okay. As Naofumi and Raftalia and Philo would go, Naofumi would say, you two remember the plan? They would both say, yes. And then let's do it. Raftalia and would jump up first with a airstrike knuckle carrying her up. Philo would do high quick to get up on the other side, leaving Naofumi on the ground. Then he would use Griffin Soul Speed, Brown Beast Strength, two enhancement spells would be activated. One boosting in strength and one speed. And then he would say, as the Knuckle Hero, I order thee, defy laws and physics to freeze my opponent and allow me to get a free hit. Freezing riposte. Then he would say, come forth, Rage Knuckles. So then his brass knuckles would go into the sharp array of them, and then he would jump up in the air as then Philo and Raftalia would do their own move to slice into the spirit tortoise's neck, going quite deep on each slash. Then two airstrike knuckles, the airstrike knuckle and second knuckle would both grab into the cuts and would start pulling backwards. As Naofumi would use Dragon Scale Bruiser, imposter. dragon scale bruiser to uppercut in the neck of this massive tortoise. He would have to hit it multiple times in a row using multiple different abilities, using, well, actually, another ability, Imposter's Edge, to actually do a slash, like attack. So there would be a multiple hits in like quick succession that would cause a massive gash, and then one last hit to blow the thing's head off. The A third knuckle would grab it to lay it down gently so it wouldn't crush on anybody. And then Naofumi would say, Philo, go grab Keel and Rishia. Bring him up here. All right, Master, which she would go do, grab them. They were already doing their flank. They already finished. Right. They found a way. They found semi where it is, using Hingen Muso arts. While, well, Naofumi would, well, no. Philo would grab them, take them up. They would enter into the spirit tortoises in it. I That's the only way. I mean, they do it in the anime. They legit end up in there. Okay, so as they would go through, they'd start looking. Naofumi would say, "We have to split up. There's three paths. I'll head middle. Raftelia, you go with Keel. Philo, you go with Rishia. Okay." And good thing I asked Erhard to make these. Here, here, and here. There would be three different devices of sorts. A magical device, right? Erhard would work with many other people to make these. It would be a tracker where they could all see this present, this glow, but they could only see it only when they was holding this, like orb, like a purple rock that it would be glowing, and the people who are holding the other two could see the others. Okay, so it's basically like a tracking device. Okay, okay, so they would be able to see each other and where they are. Okay, and as they would go down into this monstrous, this massive creature's internals, he would eventually find out how this is happening. Well, before that, he would be able to. He would find three adventurers. He would stick around and talk, and then they would go their separate ways. But before they would leave earshot, he would say, "I know who you all are, and I'm happy to see you too." The other one, it's certainly something. They would all have a shocked face. These people being Therese, Lark, and Glass. If you want to know how I figured out, no one else calls me kiddo. Okay? If you're trying to hide yourself, Lark, forget the nicknames. Then they would go their separate ways. These three would go down another path that would lead to a fake heart. The other two would be also led to a fake heart, being Keel and Rishia, well, the two other groups. Keel and Raftalia Philo and Rishia. They would all be in the this fake heart. But Naofumi would be at the real one. While the others would be dealing with fake hearts. Naofumi would find a new face and the real heart. And also the three heroes that were missing, they would be in tubes. He's quite confused. I forget the guy's name. I'm pretty sure it's like Kyo or some shit like that. Yeah, Kyo. It's Kyo. So, as Naofumi would enter this room, he would see Kyo, the three heroes, Ost, and the heart. Naofumi would say, "So you're the cause of this book guy? What? Oh, so we have a guest. Ost, do you mind telling me who this is?" Um, Kyo, this is, Naofumi Iwatani, the legendary Knuckle hero. And he's the man who's gonna defeat you. Oh, are you sure? I am. And he would be immediately in this guy's face, reeling back his fist. Actually, he would still have his red knuckles on. And he would reel back, and then back! He would go flying with a dragon scale bruiser. If you don't remember how that works, it would be a double impact move. After the first hit, a the air would crack like Whitebeard's devil fruit, the Gur no Mi, the Trimmer fruit. Right? As it would hit, the air would crack, like I said, and Kyo would be launched into the heart, bouncing off of it, crashing to the ground. You know, I really thought that would work. Anyways, really? I'm sorry, Naofumi. Yeah, I could care less. First you tried to take away my powers, and now this. I could care less what happens to you. The others are soft. They're kind-hearted. Not soft, but they're kind-hearted. I'm not. I don't like being betrayed. I don't care what happens here. Just know, don't betray people, especially when you don't know what they're capable of. As then he would disappear from her eyes and Kyo's eyes. Kyo would say, "How is he that fast?" Because I learned some things. As he would punch by Kyo's head, and Kyo would say, "Ah, you suck." As then he would feel a slice. He would still feel the impact of the fist, and the back of his head would be bleeding, pouring blood. Right? He would say, as he would reach back and he would say, how, special to say the least. As he would reel back he would bring his fist by his head and he would drive his elbow into the side of Ki's head. Kyo wouldn't actually be unconscious, he would just fake it. And then Naofumi would say, Dragon Scale, Bruiser! As he would then hit the heart, it would. Good riddance. Then and then he would start breaking the glass. Eventually, the others would arrive, everyone, and he would say, This was too easy. I know! You see, even though you messed this up, I not done. You all have more beasts I could still take power from. So, I'll be back. And you better be ready, because I'm coming back for my revenge. As he would jump into a glowing portal, so would the, Glass, Therese, and Lark. They would all wave him goodbye. Naofumi would say, Yeah, we'll be seeing each other, as he would run to the portal. His party would too. Raftelli would look back and say, Aren't we gonna say goodbye to Oast? So? She knew what was going into. You all can say bye-bye, but I'm not. I'm taking that man out. You don't mess with my world, my friends. As he would then jump in, Keel would say, I'm gonna go with him. Goodbye, Oast. As she would as they would jump in. Philo would say, Bye bye, Oast, and she would jump in. Raftelli would say, I hope you live I hope you live and rest in peace. Goodbye. Thank you all for being so nice. As then she would pass, and that's where I'm gonna end it. Next time we will be in the new world in Lark's Glasses, Therese, and what the hell is her name? I forget her name. Hold on, I'll figure it out. Do 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 do. Kizuna. Yeah, Kizuna. We'll be in Kizuna's world next time, and I hope to see you there. I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you're watching. And I also hope you have a great time. And I hope to see you all next time. It's been me, We Anime or Anime Wheat. Roll the dice. Bye.